grey and drizzly morning, and see, she's not even impressed. And I really wanted to do a practice where perhaps you don't feel quite like waking up just yet. I can imagine this practice going really well on a Sunday morning, or perhaps if you have a slightly later start to your working day, just perhaps putting this practice in as a little pocket bracket, just bridging that, that harshness that waking up can sometimes be. We're going to really work with a sense of inner ease and flow, and though I would do this as a morning practice, it is restorative, so it could also work in the evening as part of a gentle wind down. So you can pick however you practice. We're going to start laying down. Mind your bum. Good girl. So relaxing all the way down onto your back, widen your shoulders, relax the back of your head onto your mat, and just gently close your eyes. I've got my knees in a bend, but you can have yours long if you prefer. You could also place your palms to your belly. And just start to feel the gentle rise and fall of the breath. I'd like you to imagine that you are a river. Even though you are completely still, there is flow within your body. You're never 100% still anyway. And really tapping into the sensations of inner flow. Like a river, we have a riverbed that hugs us, and sometimes we can feel as though that riverbed is full of rocks, debris, logs, kind of poking and prodding into the body. And we can feel those protrusions in from the external, making the internal feel not as free, not as easy, not as open. And it's those parts we're going to see to today, just slowly letting the flow of breath and movement erode away any feelings of tightness, of tension, of pokey, proddy, physical sensations. So with that, just start to sway your knees from side to side, bending them if you haven't already, of course. And just feeling that sway through the hips. And see if you can sway through the head as well. Just letting that head roll from side to side. Already feeling as though the floor is massaging you and easing some of those little areas of the body that protrude. And as you inhale, find the biggest stretch you can, down and out through the legs, up and out through the arms. And then hug your knees into your chest, and once again sway. Remember to sway the head as well. Just feeling that massage more across the middle and upper parts of the back rather than just the base. And then when you're ready, guide the legs across and down to the right. So they're going to float down as the arms open out to shoulder height. You're welcome to place your right hand on the outside of your top knee or thigh, but kind of relax it. You want to anchor the legs here, not pull or force. Just letting everything slowly soften. And again, even though you are pretty much still here, feel that flow of breath beginning to expand into the belly, the side body, round into the back and down into the hip. And when you're ready, allow that right arm to float all the way up over your head and fully roll onto the right side. Anchor with your left hand in front of you and take a deep breath in. Left foot extends all the way down to the bottom of the mat. And just find a little sway forwards and backwards. Again, imagining that the floor is a masseuse right now. allowing that gentle resistance, that really steady support to massage any outer parts of the body that feel a little pokey and proddy. And then coming all the way back to center, circle that left arm all the way up and over the head so it lands on the right arm or palm. And just breathe into that completely elongated side body. Imagine that is clearing a channel, a river, a tributary, more free to flow. Feeling the breath as if it rises all the way up to your fingertips and drops all the way down to your toes. And as you inhale, lift your arm and your leg to circle your foot and your hand. Just circling from the wrist and ankle to the toes and fingertips, and then circle in the opposite direction. Just really getting into those gentle rotations. And then we're going to join these two body parts. So squeeze the foot behind you, hold the top of the foot with your hand, and squeeze that heel in towards your body. As you squeeze the heel, also squeeze your glute muscle. You want to relax the knee down as much as you can, but kind of let it float behind you a little bit as well. And with the squeeze in the glutes, you'll hopefully begin to feel a sort of strengthening stretch all the way down your left hip, thigh, and possibly even into the knee. This part of the body is very steady. It can be very static and strong. So by opening up the front of the thigh, we conjure that flowing feeling through the body. As you inhale, release without slingshotting the foot. Extend that left leg all the way back down to the bottom of the mat and the arm all the way up to the top. You're going to keep your legs exactly as they are. Please don't move them, and don't overthink this either. Just walk your hands in towards your hip and lift, and you're probably going to be facing the back of your mat at this point. So turning as you open the chest to lift the head, and just wiggle those hands out as wide as you can comfortably. We're going to inhale to lift and exhale to bow, chest and nose dip down to the mat. Then rising all the way up. And the goal here isn't to lower as much as you can, it's to feel a sense of spinal waves. So you want to bow and curve down and then scoop and curve up as you press back to the sky. And then inhaling as you lift, just bring those hands in a tiny bit closer together. And you're going to peek over your right shoulder. So gazing all the way around, really twisting. And how much can this left hip, this top hip, relax? How much are we gripping and pulling that up and forwards? How much can it soften back? Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, again, don't overthink this. Again, your legs are going to stay as they are. All that's going to happen is you're going to untwist and turn to face your left foot. That's it. And you should end up in Janu Sirsasana. So we're going to twist towards that bent leg. Left hand coming across to the right leg. Inhale, lift, exhale to twist. And this is going to be our center point for a little flow here. So inhaling as you lift that back arm all the way up so you can side body stretch over your extended leg. Then rising all the way up through to center, plant down through that right palm and lift up onto the right knee, shin and foot. Hips can go as high as you want them to. Coming back down to your twist to then lift up and forwards over that long leg. Then reaching back. And while yoga can sometimes be quite mechanical, I really invite you today to add that sense of playful flow, moving in a way that really does heighten that sense of freedom in the body. And then relaxing to come all the way down. We're going to guide that right knee in and bring the left in to meet it. We're going to lift all the way up through the spine, arms forwards and out, and then slowly and smoothly roll all the way down through your back. Relaxing when you get there. To release. And just stepping those feet in a tad closer. Feeling the shift in your body in those few poses, coming back to that feeling of being a river. Is there a clearer, more open feeling? Has one side of your body river begun to erode away all of those feelings that don't need to be there? Stretching out through the legs and feet and the arms and hands. And then exhale, squeeze and hug your knees into your chest, sway from side to side. So I'm just going to turn so you can always see me. And I'm not turning my back to you, I hate that. And then opening those arms out to the side and then letting those knees drop over and down, this time to your left. You're welcome to place that left hand on your top knee or thigh, just anchoring it a tiny little bit more to focus onto that spinal twist. And I really do feel, no matter what time of day you do this pose, it has its benefits. Allows you to soften and release, allows you to awaken and enliven from the spine. And as you inhale, you're going to take that left arm all the way up over the head and then roll fully onto your side. So your head has your arm for a cushion. As you inhale, extend and lengthen that right leg all the way down to the bottom of the mat. And you're going to relax it to then sway forwards and backwards. So I always like this simple kind of somatic movement. One, it massages the outside of the hip very nicely. So if you find you have collected tightness around the outside of the hips, this can feel really lovely. It's also nice to just conjure that feeling of flow so it can begin to sink deeper through the layers of the body. Circle that right arm up when you get the chance. And breathe into that full elongated side of the body. As you inhale, float the leg and the arm up to circle the ankle and wrist, all the way down to the toes and to the fingertips, and then switch directions. And then connecting these two body parts round and back behind you. Hug that foot into the back of your body, but then also squeeze your glute muscles. Without the squeeze, this pose doesn't have the same je ne sais quoi. It just doesn't quite have it. So we really want to squeeze the glutes to open the front of the hip, thigh, and possibly into the top of the knee. Really sending that strengthening stretch down the leg so that flow can effortlessly ripple from body to legs and back again. And when you're ready, extending, relax the leg, relax the hand up over you. Remember, don't move the legs here, just begin to walk your hands in and allow them to lift you as you twist again to the back of your mat. Inhale to lift and lengthen, widen those hands, and then bow through the heart and the head over and down to then rise all the way back up. And honestly, this could be a really minute movement. It doesn't need to be big. And this time, as you inhale, walk those hands in together, just a little closer, so you can more comfortably peek over your left shoulder. How much can that right hip relax? Can that foot slide away a little bit more? Inhale, untwist, and just keep untwisting until you're sat down looking at that right foot. We're going to sweep and twist round, so right hand comes to the left leg. Inhale to lift, exhale to twist. Again, this acts as our central anchor spot within our flow. So back arm comes up and over to extend the side body over that long leg. And then taking the arm behind you to press, squeeze and lift. The hips can go as high as you like. Coming down twice more at your pace, in your way. So you and I would be two very different rivers. Right now I feel like my river would be like a little babbling brook. A little bit noisy, but still quite smooth as it flows over the rocks. Right now your river might be wide and rushing, and that's good too. And coming all the way back to center, we're going to guide that left knee in, extending the feet forwards and out. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, arms to the sky, and exhale, just simply lean forwards. So this isn't about going low, it's actually about how far forwards you can go. Feel free to lift each butt cheek out and back behind you, and just taking that lean in the body. Finding that depth of breath, really anchor through your heels, allow your toes to point up towards the sky. Keep a nice parallel feeling in the legs, not smushed together, but certainly long and balanced. And then as you inhale, roll all the way up through the spine to lift. I'm going to sweep the feet round to the same side and come up into tabletop position. Anchor through the palms, the knees, the feet, and flowing through cat-cow, but with those spinal curves. So inhale as you drop the belly and melt the hips back towards the heels. And then push with your exhale to curve the spine to the sky and float forwards. Finding that just a few more times, like there's no ending or beginning to the pose. And really feeling that circular scooping sensation waving through the spine. And then see if you can go the other way. Now we're scooping down to come forwards and back as we go up. And then with that, take the hands a little bit further forwards to the top of the mat. Scoop the chest down, bend the elbows, and relax all the way down onto your belly. My leggings keep falling down today. There we go. Much better. And just softening through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in as you slide the forearms forwards and rise into your Sphinx pose. Press down through the forearms and palms. Lift through the head and the heart. And just take a few breaths here. Maybe even wiggle your legs a little bit further back, relaxing those toes more fully. And as you breathe into the depths of the belly, feel that gentle ripple of movement that flows up and down through the back of your body. And then as you exhale, bring the body down. I'm going to sweep the hands in underneath the shoulders as you bow the head. Bring your right foot in towards your right sit bone. And we're going to press into the floor, lift the right leg, wrap and tap it behind you to the ground to twist through the body. Then rolling all the way back to center, relax that right leg down, switch to the left. Squeeze the foot in, roll to the side, wrap and tap that foot behind you as you twist, and then come all the way back to center. Just play with that a couple more times each side. And feeling that rotation rising from the bottom of your body. So often we think of twisting as if it has to come from the head down, but change that instigating movement, that instigating body part. Now, if you want to, you can lift this a little bit higher. So as that right leg wraps and taps behind you, you can lift the body. But really the trick is the higher the head, the more relaxed you want that knee to be. Circling your right arm all the way back and up over the head to then bring it forwards and down onto your belly once again, switching sides. Left foot in, wrap and tap. The higher the head comes up, the more that knee needs to lower. Circle the left arm, back, up, forwards and down. And just play with that again. Another twice, maybe once slowly on each side, twice a little more quickly. Relaxing as you come back to center, and like a big tidal wave, ripple all the way up, all the way back, and into Balasana. Big toes together, knees wide, heart and head melt. Feeling that sense of flow. That beautiful breath. And as you inhale, walk the hands in towards you. Sweep your feet round to the same side to come to seated. As always with seated, I really encourage you to lift your seat in some small way. So I've always got a bolster to hand, but you can use a cushion from your bed, from your sofa, folded blanket. You can fold your mat in behind you, but just lift the seat in a small way. We're going to lengthen up through the spine and find Jala Mudra, Jala Hasta Mudra, which means water hand gesture. As you may know by now, every one of your fingers is connected to an element, and the little finger is water because it moves really, really freely. So you're going to place your little fingernail, the actual nail, underneath your thumb pad. If you just tap the fingertips together, this really does awaken all down through this side of the arm and forearm, and it's just not as relaxing. So I really do say, place your fingernail under the pad of your thumb. Relax the backs of your hands to your knees. Soften through the shoulders as you continually breathe length up through the spine. Gently closing the eyes and feeling that flow of breath as effortless as it can be. So with the little finger being the element of water, the thumb is the element of fire. Two elements we wouldn't ordinarily put together or think work together. But the thumb is a little different. We are the only beings on this planet with opposable thumbs, and therefore able to do the things that we can with our hands. We are the only beings to have as much mastery as possible over fire. Of course, it can still get out of our control, but we can spark it, we can control it, we can put it out most of the time. We're also, because of our thumbs, very creative beings. So when we place the thumb to the little finger, we are heightening that spark of creativity. Sometimes when the weather gets cold, when our bodies feel stiff and stuck, we don't feel as free flowing. Therefore, ideas as well as muscles and other body parts can feel a little bit stuck. So by bringing ourselves into more of an open flow state, that flow state journeys up to the mind as well. Thinking perhaps of the thumbs like the mind, that spark of human uniqueness and magic, connecting with our inner essence of water. So just for the next couple of minutes, take some time to muse upon ways that you are creative, ways in which you could be a little more creative. And it doesn't have to be painting or writing or dancing or playing an instrument. You could get more creative in the kitchen, pairing flavors together that you haven't thought of before. You could do a little bit of decorating or DIY in your home. You could bring an aspect of your job into new light, perhaps seeing if you can find a new way to view it. You could create a new game in preparation for spending time with your family during the winter months at celebrations. And just not letting that creative spark within you dwindle, but instead keep it alight. As you inhale, release the hold of that mudra. Let your hands move far more freely. Let your head move freely. And as you inhale, let that movement creep down into your shoulders, into your spine, into your ribs, and even your hips. And as we come to these cooler, darker months, we can feel like we want to move less in this way, but in honesty, this is when we need to move in this way more, keeping that inner spark of creativity, of flow, of freedom, so that we don't get stuck in our hermity ways, which is definitely warranted sometimes. And take a deep breath in as you circle the arms, connect the palms, and as you exhale, hug the hands to heart center, bowing the head ever so slightly. I'm going to close our practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi, the mantra of peaceful waves that I hope lap up at your shore. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti.